Welcome to the Raven Space YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is the complete review of the 2017 Ravens NFL Draft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each pick. I'm going to give you my initial reactions to that pick, which you can also see in the videos on the Raven Space YouTube. And I'm also going to give you how I feel about them now after I had some time to reflect and have the complete draft as a view, so I can say, hey, this is what happened and this is how I feel now that I know every single bit of information. Again, I'm going to just go through and we're going to start right away. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the Raven Space YouTube. So for the first pick and for the Baltimore Ravens in the NFL Draft, they took Marlon Humphrey, round 1, pick 16. If you guys don't know, Humphrey's a cornerback from Alabama, and he is, in my opinion, the second to third best corner in this draft. And when I first saw this pick, I was very disappointed. I was disappointed because of who else was on the board. People who were on the board would have made immediate impacts for the Baltimore Ravens. And he's not. Marlon Humphrey won't make an immediate impact for the Baltimore Ravens. So I was a little disappointed by that. And in my opinion, the first round pick has to be someone who can make an immediate impact. And if I remember correctly, I gave it a B. And it's because I can't give an A to anyone who doesn't make immediate impact. So again, I think he's a good player. I do think he's too aggressive. Jimmy Smith had the same problem coming out. I think Jimmy Smith has matured to a great player. I think he has the ability to do that as well. But with the first pick and with the people who are still on the board, I wanted a player who can make an immediate impact. So again, Marlon Humphrey was our best pick, of course, and which is good. He's not my favorite pick. I'll talk to you about my favorite pick when we get there. So again, Marlon Humphrey was the first pick. Round 2, pick 15 was Tyus Bowser, outside linebacker, Houston. Tyus is a person I didn't have a lot of information about. Of course, I did my information, looked at the tape and all that good stuff. And I think he will be a good player. We're going to have a glut of outside linebackers, and it will be impossible for all of them to make the team. I'm worried about a player like Zadarius, who now with Tyus being taken, Tim being taken, and we also have Matt Judon, who outperformed him last year. I don't know where his role sits in all this, but again, I think Tyus is a player who will sit, but he'll get a chance to get on the field. They'll give him a chance to get on the field because I don't think they like Zadarius as much as we might think. And if I remember, I gave this one I think a higher, maybe a B plus where he was, because we filled the need that we had, and so I was happy about that. Round 3, pick 10, number 74 overall, was Chris Wormley, defensive end, Michigan. And this is my favorite pick of the draft because it fills an immediate hole that the Ravens had. Chris Wormley, of anyone in this whole draft, will get the most time, I think. He's going to be a great 5 technique. If you guys don't know, the 5 technique is where Lawrence Guy played before he went to the Patriots. And in a 3-4 defense, you need a very good 5 technique because what it does is it holds the edge and it frees up the outside linebacker as much as possible. And he can stop the run, which you need. He will never, I don't think, ever be a great pass rusher. But again, at this position, you don't need that. So I'm super happy with this pick. Again, it's my favorite pick. I think he's pro ready, even though he went into the 3rd round. I think he'll get a chance to start and he'll be impressive. Again, I'm not sure where Carl Davis fits into this equation. He's already on the Ravens. We'll see. Again, I think Chris will have a chance to play, and I think he will play. I think he'll be a good player on our team this year. The next pick was a 3rd round pick as well. Our second 3rd round pick. It was pick 14, 78th overall, and it was Tim Williams, outside linebacker, Alabama. And so he is a guy that I was disappointed with this pick as well. I thought there were receivers on the board that we could have taken. Tim Williams was good in college, and he has potential, and that's what you hear, right? So for people who think he's going to come out and make an immediate impact, he won't. He's not good enough to do that. However, he has potential. So again, like for the analysis from Brian Billick, double-digit sack potential analysis from NFL.com says, if the Ravens can coach him right and he can fulfill his potential. So he's a potential guy. And I think that he went into the right. I think he's a third-round talent. I do. A lot of people think he's a first-round talent. I think he's a third-round talent. And he played with a great Alabama defense, with a great defensive scheme and everything like that. And we've seen Alabama outside linebackers not perform well in the league because of this. I hope Tim Williams, performs up to his potential, because if he does, he'll be a good outside linebacker. But I was disappointed because I thought there were other receivers on the board that if we took, we would make our team much better than signing Tim Williams, who won't start for the next 2 years, 3 years maybe. And then we took our first offensive player in the 4th round. So round 4, pick 16. We took Nico Siragusa, offensive guard, San Diego State. And Siragusa, again, is a run block guy. He'll be good. If you want to improve the run game, he was the right pick at this area. So it's a high value pick. But again, he's going to be a project player. A lot of people had a 3rd round grade on him. For him to go to the 4th round was a good steal for the Ravens. Again, has to improve his pass blocking skills, but thankfully at the guard position, it's not as important as it is as a tackle. So round 5, pick 15, 159th overall was Jermaine Eluemunor, offensive guard from Texas A&M. And here you're starting just to get into the players who have the upside. He's going to be a heavy developmental player. Good. He went to a school like Texas A&M where he got to play against good competition, and it adds depth to the offensive line that gets injured a lot. So overall, I think it was a decent pick for where he was. Again, he's going to be a project player, and I don't ever think he'll be a starter for the Ravens. But I think he will get some time when injuries happen, and it'll help us from having to go, outside to get a guard like we had to do this year. And then the last pick in the draft for the Baltimore Ravens was a round 6. This pick 2, 186 overall, was Chuck Clark, defensive back, Virginia Tech. And so when you watch Chuck Clark's tape, you see good things. And again, because he's from Virginia Tech, he's closer to where I am as opposed to someone like a San Diego State player. Again, so I do have some knowledge of him. I've seen him play before in person, different things like that. He is I think he's a good player in college. And he'll add depth to the chart, and he'll also, a great special teams guy. He won't be on defense at all. There's just no room anymore for any defensive back, on defense. So if he makes a team, he'll be solely special teams. So he'll definitely be, if anything, they'll put him on the practice squad. And I think it's going to be hard for him to make the team if they carry every single defensive back that we have right now. But he for sure will be a player who will contribute on special teams if he does make the team. And if he doesn't, he'll be on our practice squad because he has great instincts. A lot of people think he's just a guy. I think he's better than that. But, only time will tell if he can mature into a player that is worth talking about. And just for my overall thoughts on the draft, I'm still disappointed. Not as disappointed as I was before. For everyone else in our division to get instant playmakers in their first pick, and we don't, that really hurt the Ravens, I think. When other teams get players who are going to start immediately, and we get a player who won't start for the next couple of years, it's going to be tough for us. But like I said, we have to wait 2 or 3 years specifically for this player, to know if he's going to be a bust or not. And then we addressed our defense. It's evident to me that they think Joe Flacco can do it by himself because they didn't help Joe Flacco out this draft. And if anyone thinks our receivers are good, they don't know. You got to watch some football because they're not good. They're, Mike Wallace is a fast guy who has a potential to make plays, but he runs slants, and he got cut from the Dolphins and the Vikings. The Steelers didn't want him back because they didn't think he was worth the money that he was asking. Now he's here on the cheaper contract, And he'll be a good 2, but as your number 1, it's challenging because he doesn't have the ability to run routes that great number 1s do. A player like Antonio Brown, who has a similar makeup with the ability with the speed, the difference between those two is that Antonio Brown is a polished route runner, and Mike Wallace is not. Bashard Perryman is, of course, only in his second year playing football in the NFL, and it's going to be we haven't yet seen what he can be, and he has potential. He seems like he has potential to go deep, but I want to see him run some of those intermediate routes that are harder for receivers to run. So again, but those are our main 2, and it looks like our third is going to be Moore or Campanero, which is not great. So we'll see. And then Pitta again is a tight end who is good but isn't great. Our offensive line, we still don't have a right tackle. We still don't have a center. So our offense is looking bad. Our defense looks great now. I think we have 4 corners who could start. We have outside linebackers that are young who are going to be energetic coming out. I really like the way our defense looks. I thought we should have added a middle linebacker, but it's fine. We'll find someone on our team to fill that spot. But we just need to see where this team is going to go on off this overall draft. I would give the grade a B-. I don't think we had a draft better than the Steelers, the Browns, or the Bengals. I think we came in last place in that sense. And so I can't give it higher than a B, and I can't give it lower than a B- because I do think Marlon Humphrey is a good player. I do think Tyus Bowser is a good player, and I do think Chris Wormley is a good player. I think Tim Williams is a developmental player. Nico Siragusa is a developmental player. And hopefully they can develop into something that's going to be good down the line. But I'll give us a B-. NFL.com has it as a B+, just so you can see the difference. And again, let me know how you feel about this draft in the comments below. I do want to hear all you guys' opinions, and I really do appreciate them. So thank you guys so much. And remember, go Ravens.